The way you perceive yourself, including your beliefs and expectations about what you can achieve, shapes everything you do and everything that happens to you. By improving the quality of your thoughts, you can instantly improve the quality of your life. You have complete control over one thing in the universe: your thoughts. You can choose what to think in any situation. Your thoughts and interpretations of events trigger your emotions, whether positive or negative. These thoughts and emotions influence your actions and decisions, ultimately determining your outcomes. It all starts with your thoughts. Certain thoughts lead to specific choices, which shape your behavior. This behavior results in experiences that you interpret with the same mindset that drove your initial decisions. Consequently, you experience the same emotions repeatedly, because the same personality underlies your choices. Many people mistakenly believe they can create a new life while clinging to their old identity and mindset, but true change must begin from within. Change yourself first, then your behavior and attitudes. With new attitudes, you'll make different decisions, leading to new experiences and feelings, and a transformed perspective on life. Although the Bible states, "In the beginning was the Word," it is more accurate to say, "In the beginning was the thought." Thought precedes every action and word. To change our thoughts, we should start with 1. Emphasizing the importance of positive thinking. Positive thoughts enhance life, making you feel stronger and more confident. Positive thinking is not just motivational, it has measurable, constructive effects on your personality, health, energy levels, and creativity. The more positive and optimistic you are, the happier you will be in all areas of life. Negative thoughts have the opposite effect, making you feel weaker and less secure. When you think or say something negative, you give away your power, leading to feelings of anger, defensiveness, frustration, and unhappiness. Over time, negative thinking can harm your health and relationships, spreading bad energy to those around you. Positive thinking leads to mental health and peak performance, while negative thinking leads to psychosomatic and mental illnesses and decreased effectiveness. To live a wonderful life, cultivate positive emotions and eliminate negative ones. Eliminating negative emotions is the most crucial step toward health and personal well-being. By taking control of your thoughts and feelings and maintaining a positive outlook, you improve the quality of both your inner and outer life. Without negative emotions, your mind fills with positive ones, generating happiness and fulfillment. Number 2, you can choose your thoughts. The law of substitution states that your mind can hold only one thought at a time, positive or negative. You can replace a negative thought with a positive one. By deliberately thinking about something positive, you can cancel out thoughts or feelings that make you angry or unhappy. The law of habit explains that any thought or action repeated enough times will become a habit. When you consistently react and respond positively, you gain control over your conscious mind. Eventually, it becomes automatic and easy to think and act positively. By using willpower and repetition, you can develop new habits of thought and action, transforming yourself into a positive person and changing your life. Number 3, overcoming negative emotions. All your negative emotions are learned, starting in childhood, and what is learned can be unlearned, sometimes quickly. You can adopt any habit or skill that you find desirable or necessary. You can learn positive and constructive ways to think about people, money, health, and other important areas in your life where you want to make changes. Let's explore factors that can override negative ideas that limit your potential and interfere with your success. Many of these negative ideas are based on false premises. A single piece of new information can completely reverse a negative idea or attitude you have about a topic or a person. You might discover that an idea you held about yourself or someone else is not true, allowing you to change your thinking instantly. Be open to this possibility. Negative emotions persist only because we give them life and keep them alive by constantly thinking and talking about things that make us angry or unhappy. Fortunately, you can change this by applying the law of emotion, which states that a stronger emotion will override a weaker one. Whatever emotion you focus on will grow stronger. By withdrawing your mental energy from a person or situation that makes you sad or angry and refusing to think about it, the emotion connected to that situation will eventually fade away. You've experienced this before. For example, in past relationships that didn't work out, you might have felt devastated, broken, or depressed when they ended. Over time, you met someone new, and the pain from the previous relationship diminished. Eventually, you might look back and wonder how you were ever so emotionally involved. Because you stopped feeding those negative feelings, they completely disappeared. This is an example of the laws of substitution and emotion at work. Number 4. Sources of negative emotions. According to Russian philosopher Peter Uspensky, there are 4 basic causes of negative emotions: justification, identification, inward consideration, and blaming. Changing your life involves systematically eliminating these 4 causes. Justification. This occurs when you rationalize or create reasons for your anger and unhappiness. You replay the situation in your mind, telling yourself and others how unfairly you were treated. Each time you think about the person or situation, you feel angrier and more justified in your negative emotions. To stop this cycle, refuse to justify your feelings. Instead, use your mind to find reasons to let go of your negative emotions and stop feeling bad. Negative emotions serve no beneficial purpose. They are entirely destructive and do not affect the other person or change the situation. Instead, they undermine your happiness and self-confidence, draining energy from other important areas of your life. Instead of justifying your anger and unhappiness, use your intelligence and imagination to find justifications for the other person. Excusing their behavior isn't about letting them off the hook or becoming their toy, it's about freeing yourself from toxic emotions. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, think, maybe they are having a bad day, or they might be rushing to an important appointment. This shift in perspective helps dissolve anger and maintain your peace. Years ago, I had an issue with a noisy dance school next to my home. Their loud music was a constant irritant. But when I imagined my own daughter enjoying a class there, my anger vanished. This illustrates how powerful it is to replace a negative thought with a positive one. Recognizing that your mind can hold only one thought at a time allows you to choose positivity. By excusing others and withdrawing energy from negative emotions like anger and resentment, you reaffirm your mental control, staying calm and positive. Eventually, the situation passes and you forget about it. This technique applies to significant life challenges, too. Whether it's a divorce, job loss, or failed investment, stop dwelling on your right to be angry. Instead, make excuses for the other party until the negativity dissipates. Redirecting your mind towards positive thoughts extinguishes negative emotions, enabling you to focus on what you can control. One vital rule for success and happiness is not to get angry or worry about things you cannot change. Criticizing others for unchangeable traits is pointless. If there's no solution, there's no problem. Focus on the future, where you have some control, rather than the unchangeable past. Number 5. Let it go. A psychiatrist with over 25 years of experience noted that the words "if only" are common among unhappy people who feel trapped by past events. They remain resentful, angry, or depressed about something someone did or didn't do. This lingering negativity robs them of joy and excitement for the future. Life is inherently filled with problems, difficulties, setbacks, and failures. Contrary to what social media suggests, life isn't easy for anyone. Challenges are inevitable, and preparing for them ensures you aren't caught off guard. Economic crises and personal storms are opportunities for growth. Those who master life's challenges can make significant strides even during tough times. Remember the saying, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, but about learning to dance in the rain. This perspective turns every challenge into an opportunity for growth and progress. We can't wait for perfect conditions at all. We cannot wait for all the problems to be solved so that we can do something that makes us enjoy, as we can, with what we can. Life is precisely about this, not losing the big picture while you go about your daily life and serve your loved ones. You should not even get lost in everyday tasks, but neither should you only have your eyes on distant horizons and global events, ignoring what is happening around you and what you have the power to directly influence. In fact, this was one of the mistakes I made in my life. I was so focused on what was happening in the world, staying up to date with all the information about world events, politics and the elite's plans for humanity, that I neglected my life a lot and let my mind submerge in negativity, which finally it led me to many problems and forced me to realize the urgent need to change my mind, clean it, organize it and put filter and order to my thoughts. Because your life is going to be a continuous series of problems, difficulties, setbacks and failures. And how good you will be at the game of life will depend on your ability to resolve. It will determine your level of overall success. Because adversities, setbacks and unexpected failures are a normal, natural and inevitable fact of growth. To change your way of thinking in your life, you must make the decision to overcome them and move on with your life, no matter what has happened. Until you do, you will remain a slave to the past, which cannot be changed in any case. So make the decision now, that from now on, you are going to eliminate all the if-onlys from your life. Author Wayne Dyer says, "It is never too late to have a happy childhood." This means that at any time you can change the interpretation of the unhappy events of the first years of your life in a positive way. You can practice the law of substitution and look for something good in these negative experiences and think about this instead. You can focus on how your unhappy experiences have made you a better, wiser person. In fact, you can be grateful to the people you have hurt in the past, because they have tested your inner strength, your character, your patience, your ego, and have introduced you to your true self, which shines most of all precisely in these extreme moments. And all this either breaks you down or makes you stronger. And in any case, it couldn't have happened any other way. Your parents had no experience raising children. They were also a product of the way they were raised. Like all human beings, they became parents with their problems and weaknesses, just as you have done today. However, they have done the best they could with what they have had. They couldn't have raised you any other way than they did. It's foolish to hold on and feel unhappy about things they did or didn't do. They were incapable of doing anything else. Let it go and move on with your life. Number 6, don't take it personally. The second main cause for negative emotions, according to Ouspensky, is identification or attachment. This occurs when you take something personally or become attached to a person or thing. You see the happy outcome of an event or circumstance as an affront or personal attack on you or something you believe in. You wait a lot. You become emotionally involved in a situation and identify so strongly with it that it affects your emotions and reasoning in a negative way. The great spiritual teachers, such as Buddha and Jesus, have emphasized the importance of emotionally detaching from the situation, disidentification, to regain calm. The psychologist and philosopher William James of Harvard wrote, "The first step in facing any difficulty is to be willing to let it be so." I encourage people to say, what cannot be changed must be endured. In other words, practice detachment from any person or situation that makes you feel angry or upset. Remove emotional energy so you can regain calm and composure. It is an energy self-preservation mechanism. This approach does not suggest that you passively accept whatever happens to you. Instead, it encourages you to use your willpower to keep your mind and emotions under control. You discipline yourself to mentally step back and confront the problem intelligently. You use your mind to see the situation objectively and make better decisions to resolve it. Nothing and no one can have anything over you unless there is this something that you still want from them. They must have something that they can still give you or deny you. As soon as you discover what this something is and how you can provide it to yourself in another way and from another place, you will become emotionally detached. As soon as you no longer want anything from anyone, you are free. This ability is a power that you can develop through practice. It can make you the master of a situation that could otherwise cause you discomfort and anger. One of the kindest things you can do to help others is to help them stay away from a problematic situation and be objective. Encourage them to see the difficulty as if it were happening to someone else. Ask them what advice they would give to someone else facing the same problem. By separating yourself from the emotionally charged situation, you and others will become much more able to deal with it effectively. Number 7. The opinions of others. The third important cause of negative emotions, according to Ouspensky, is internal consideration. This happens when you become overly concerned about the way people treat and perceive you. If someone isn't giving you the respect you think you deserve, you may feel angry and pissed off and want to hit back. If people are rude or indifferent to you, you may experience their behavior as a manifestation of their personality and character. This interpretation of their attitude or behavior can make you angry or depressed. Psychologists say that everything we do is to increase our self-esteem and our sense of personal worth, or to protect it from being diminished by other people or circumstances. If your self-esteem is not as high as it could be, you will be sensitive to the opinions and reactions of others. You will take everything personally, exactly as if everything they said or did was conscious or deliberately directed at you. However, this is rarely the case. The reality is that most people are worried about themselves and their own problems. They dedicate the other 1% of all the available emotional energy they have, including you. And 99% of the time people are wrapped up in their own thoughts or thinking about themselves. The person who cuts you off in traffic is so absorbed in their own thoughts that they are not even aware of your existence. It would be foolish to get angry at his thoughtless reaction. 8. Live your own life and don't worry about what others would think. In Abraham Maslow's studies of self-actualizing people, these 1 or 2% of men and women, who are fully mature and fully functioning adults, found one particular quality which they all had in common: they were completely honest with themselves. They were clear about their own strengths and weaknesses. They did not expect or pretend to be any different than they were, just a better version of themselves. This self-acceptance was the cornerstone of their self-esteem and self-respect. Because they knew who they really were, they didn't feel like they had to constantly earn the approval of others. They took other people's opinions into consideration, but then made their own decisions. They were not too influenced by the possible approval or disapproval of other people.